Hi, welcome to my third observation. Um, Today, the only difference is I was in a new English class. So, let's get started. Music with grade three. The students were all wearing their shirts and pants backwards because it was backwards day. Um, So this day, they were using triangles and rhythm sticks and drums, and they were focusing on form of music. So the way it's structured, so they would hear a rhythm, dun 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 dun, and then the next that would be A, and then bum 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 is B, and then it would probably go back to A. And yeah, it was really cool to see all the students kind of getting to understand that. So it was really an interesting class uh, with very minimal amounts of students who were kind of just playing their instruments when they shouldn't be. Um, yeah, students then used paper plates to dance to Waltz of the Flowers, and then scarves to move set, so that they could identify form and time structure as well. So that was really fun to do and to be a part of in the class. Then, after they left, in came the grade ones for their art. So they again talked about space and art, and they were very excited about like backwards day, and I guess it was twin day too. So yeah, then they were looking at overlapping with by making caterpillars. Then there was all sorts of skills covered. So there's coloring, cutting, ordering, gluing, and drawing skills that were all touched upon. Uh, and they they got a little loud, so Miss Burnett had to put on the traffic light, set it to red, which means no talking whatsoever. Then eventually back to yellow, which meant talk at a whisper. And then I don't believe we got back up to green, but yeah, they really listened well to that when it came to getting back on task. Um, So yeah, then if they finished early, they got the chance to draw on their own, whatever they wanted, or to play with Legos, and it was really good. It's a decent incentive for all the students, and it keeps them yet again less disruptive and focused on kind of doing their own thing. So after that, I went to the grade seven reading and devotions with a new teacher, Miss Byers. So she recapped her past lesson, and she used exercise breaks herself because she used to teach grade two. So she learned how to do that in those classes and found it really works still with grade sevens and eights. Um, so then she used a method that I've seen, and I'm not sure if I love it for discipline, where she'll just stop talking and teaching until the students quiet down. And then the students were not taking the class seriously at all. They were just very disruptive. I did notice one boy, he was incredibly loud and disruptive, kind of just like shouting out whenever he could, and kind of just trying to seek attention from everybody in the room. And yeah, so Miss Byers did not exactly love that, and then she changed the seating plan actually twice during that class of 20 minutes to try to do another thing of discipline, and she took away 5 minutes of recess. So there was a lot going on there. And after devotions, I followed her into the next class, so grade 8 English, where they started with 10 minutes of silent reading, where there was not well, there was most people in that classroom were uh, actually doing reading, but there were a select few that did not even touch their books. So I guess that's up to the student on occasion. But there was a student who tried to be funny by slamming a door in a classmate's face, which almost ended badly. They worked on essays. Also, I apologize for how much I've probably said at this point. The class was very reluctant to answer questions, probably um, because, well, it's grade 8, so they just kind of. I remember in grade 8 myself, I would not answer questions because if you get it wrong, then the whole class just kind of ridicules you. But after that, it turned out that one of the students was actually, because it's still Twin Day, in her class, uh, and just supposed to be in the class across the hall. So he switched places with his friend. And it took her about halfway through the class to notice that, which was very entertaining, actually. But yeah, I get how that could be frustrating. Um, and Miss Byers, she taught the lesson. She still did the. She would still stop talking if they were talking until they stopped talking, and then proceeded with the lesson. Um, they got movement breaks, and there was a quiet work period, which I helped with essays. She helped with essays, and a lot of there's a select few students that would kind of just be tossing stuff across the room or making noise whenever they can, and yeah. But the students all kind of work together. They are more of a community than mine ever were because they stick with the same group every single day. So they've all kind of gotten to be pretty good friends, and uh, if one kid's distracted, they're all distracted in her grade 8 class. So yeah, overall it was interesting to see a new side with a teacher with less experience as well. Uh, and I hope to see what happens next time.